Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. Our discussion of Homeland. Ben Mankiewicz, Alonso, Duralde. Season 3, Episode 4, Game On. And here's what I did. I don't even think, I was about to say figuratively, but I think I did it literally at the end of the episode.
Which literally now means figuratively,
that's
apparently,
right, that's right.
Thanks to the new dictionary.
Like, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I was a little pissed off at the end, frankly.
Why were you pissed off?
Because the whole notion of, it was all intentional and this is an elaborate sting. I was like, what? Like, it did not pass the sniff test for me because it felt like she was not only fooling everyone at the booby hatch, she was also fooling the audience at home, you know?
Well, here's why I pumped my fist like Tiger Woods. Yes, yes! Because, as you know, I thought they'd tricked the audience by Saul's inexplicable behavior. Like, you gave me an explanation, which I guess the show was hoping would work, so I don't dismiss it, that the devastation of what had happened to his friends at Langley had made Saul, but I thought had made Saul into a different person, whereas I thought a guy like Saul would rise to the occasion in the worst possible moment to be more Saul-like, because that would actually... You know, that's how you get an answer.
With extra Saul.
Right, extra Saul. So when I was in grad school in New York, I'd see those 970 commercials for the porn lines that would come on. Those were coming on all the time on TV. And on one channel where they advertised those porn lines, it was always 970 P-E-E-E. Where the extra E is for extra P.
Yes, I remember hearing about that one.
That was good stuff. The extra E is for extra P. So extra Saul. So I thought that Saul's behavior didn't make any sense. I just didn't think I would buy it. And if he was engaged, at least at some point, coming around to being Saul, that we can use Carrie and her condition, it is interesting, of course, and a worthy debate now to try and figure out when the hell did they hatch this plan?
Yeah, see, it's fine as far as an explanation for Saul, but it doesn't explain Carrie. Like, Carrie seems to have been actually undergoing the thing that has been happening. So to now find out, oh no, Carrie was just bluffing so that all these other events, these other dominoes would fall. It does not scan for me. It doesn't ring true. It seems like it didn't feel like any of this was a put on for her. It felt like she was really in the moment of it all.
I feel like that first of all, if we ever learn when it was hatched, and maybe they won't do that, I think they need to.
Yeah, they got some splaining to do.
Yeah, but because when Carrie's watching TV and she sees Saul's testimony where he throws her under the bus and says, we had an agent who was having a relationship with him and was bipolar, right? And just didn't disclose that from us. Her reaction to that is
genuinely hurt.
Genuinely hurt.
And not for anyone else's benefit.
She's the only one in the room
alone.
Right.
Exactly.
So she can't. So they had to have hatched it after that. So I'm going to operate then under the assumption that at that point it was expedient for Saul to do that. He needed to get the.
But all the stuff of her hitting her head against the mirror, and the only way this thing would have worked would be if the hearing that they had about her sanity didn't go well, which obviously she was invested in it going well. There's just too many things that happened that she seems to have been legitimately wanting a different outcome, and that they were making her stay in there, to now suddenly go back and be like, no, I was in here all along so that Martin Donovan would come along and rescue me and show his hand.
I think that when Saul goes to see Carrie, I think what it'll turn out is that when Saul goes to see Carrie and she says that wonderful "fuck you" to him, that's when they hatched the plan.
She's not hatching shit. She was super doped up on lithium.
Then the next day, like he comes, but whatever. We don't.
But shit has happened since that meeting, though, that still seemed like she legitimately wanted to get out.
Right. I think she did want to get out, which is why she says to him, "You left me in there too long," and I think that Saul went to Duralde, went to F. Murray Abraham, and was like, make sure she doesn't get out because he needs to have the sort of pretense set up
there. They are going to have to do some Fred Astaire level tap dancing to make this thing work. I mean, I'm not saying they won't or can't, but at the moment I'm like, fuck this show. Okay. What is this?
Okay, but
I will go along for the ride to see where it goes.
But Fred Astaire did exist, so I think it can be done. So I'm with you, but from a surprise and intrigue point of view, and back to the things that I think matter and drive the show, that was at least a season one. That was a season one
switcheroo.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. I mean, I'm with you in the sense that we can't now keep doing that. Like we can't have constant like twists that you can't really possibly see coming. Although to some extent, I kept thinking, what is Saul doing? Did they really just change him and make him David Estes? You know, so I don't know. I was really pleased that there was a season 1.
But I'll tell you though, even if all this was a thing that he plotted with her, that doesn't excuse the Saul thing you hated, where he barks at the headscarf lady.
Yeah, well, but then that goes to, I mean, then what it works for is your explanation, which, yeah, he got driven crazy by that. He thought the agency was going to close down, Congress is coming after him, his friends are dead, and he acted irrationally. But at some point, he thought, what am I doing? And we can use this because she's the best agent we have. So
we'll see.
I hope that from a timing point of view, that ends up making some small degree of sense.
You know, it's funny, it didn't occur to me until this episode, but the whole thing about blowing up the CIA and having to sort of start over in new digs, you know what that totally reminds me of?
What's that?
Skyfall.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm sure it was probably a coincidence. I'm sure they were both around the same time, but it was just like, oh yeah, that's the whole where you get rid of the...
Yeah, I definitely didn't think of that.
Yeah.
It was... Now, there's obviously a lot about Dana, and there's some reaction to Dana. I think she's a wonderful actress, but it is like as good as their scene was together, their sex scene together, which felt so teenage kid desperate. Like this escape, while the escape made sense, then they go to the graveyard and they're quoting Coleridge. You know, I don't know. That felt like I was like, have sex again. And I don't mean from a pervy point of view. I mean like
it's what you guys would do.
It's what you guys would do. That's why you're busting out. Right. Not to go hang out in a graveyard and then like, you know, drive all over the city because the graveyard coincidentally is close to the Marine barracks where her father went off.
Right, where he flew back in.
And it just feels like they're trying too hard to keep Brody relevant. I think they should have let him go.
You know, I'm still, that's where my trust in these guys is going, is that Brody will come back in with something, especially since the guy who's keeping him in Argentina claims to have some connection with Carrie. Venezuela. Significantly,
because now we're seeing that that's where the banking was set up for the Iranian terrorist organization.
Yeah, I think things are starting to loop back in. But yeah, the dude in Venezuela is like, oh, I know Carrie Matheson, and we don't know how exactly yet. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. So we find out that Dana's boyfriend is a murderer.
Right. Which the theory last week that I relayed through my cousin John
that he's a spy or whatever.
That it was part of a spy. That's apparently no. That one didn't.
It was a valid theory, but it sounded good. But yeah,
that's dead. So that just makes the Dana subplot again. Obviously, at some point, Dana is clearly going to be someone's portal pawn/portal to Brody. Otherwise, we can't possibly care about her family. I mean, I mean, we didn't watch the. I mean, I'll grant you that people want to see some resolution to Brody, and maybe does Brody end up with Carrie? Is there a way these two sort of wild outcasts can end up together? But we can't think that independent of Brody, we really care deeply about Brody's family. I mean, if they think that, I think they have really misjudged who their audience is.
You know, yes, I see your point there. I'm giving them more slack to let this play out and see where it goes, maybe than I am with Saul. But I'm gonna let them go with Saul too and see where that goes. At least, but now the mom's boyfriend is back, so you know.
Yeah, that guy. I read some rough stuff about him. I never liked. I mean, he's a fine actor, but I just never thought that character added anything.
I thought there was an interesting thing of the fact that, you know, Mike, Brody's best friend and Brody's wife get together when they think that Brody's dead, and then he comes back and it's, you know, and so I think that he's provided some interesting tension, and I kind of want Mike and Mrs. Brody to wind up together because Jessica, they seem happier than Jessica and Brody ever were.
Super beautiful.
She is.
So I don't know. I liked it overall. I find that some of the writing around like the Dana and Leo talking to each other, it just didn't feel like a conversation anybody has. Certainly nobody who I want to see a television show about.
I did like the whole the sort of tightening the screws montage where she realizes that she's got no car, she's got no cash. You know,
that was nice. The spy stuff, as always, to me,
And I like the scene with Martin Donovan just because Martin Donovan's always awesome. And,
and when she's talking to her buddy on the phone and he says, I'll say hi to your mom. That stuff I love. Like that can save a whole episode for me.
Now, which I didn't get. I knew that was code for something because
her mom's dead.
Right.
So him saying, and she knows that he knows that. So when he says, I'll say hi to your mom, that's his way of saying, I'm being listened to. This conversation is.
Oh,
don't come.
Gotcha.
Don't do anything.
Gotcha. Okay. I knew it meant something. I was because the thing is, right after that conversation, they cut to Dana at the cemetery, and I thought, oh wait, did he leave her something?
Is Carrie Dana's real mom?
Well, no. I thought maybe there was something at Carrie's mom's gravesite that this guy was leaving for her, and that was the code.
No, I think it was just walk away.
Yeah, gotcha.
Walk away. Yeah. So yeah, the Carrie spy stuff I thought was top notch. I think the Martin Donovan reveal to Carrie was a little clunky, like a little too obvious, like within, I think they'd be subtler, and then within 15 seconds they're like, he's like, well, my clients, Iranian terrorists, they respond to aggression with equal aggression. It was a military target. But I like that argument. That's a valid point. You blow up the CIA after an attack on nuclear facilities, right? We don't. It's not, again, it's not flying into the World Trade Center.
You can't make geopolitics without breaking a few eggs.
Right. So, all right, I was pleased. Alonso.
I am holding
guarded.
out, but I'm a little like, what the fuck, people? So we'll just see where it goes, Homeland.
All right. We hope next week that we will have other people with us. Not that we aren't
captivating.
Right. We are. Thanks very much.